how to be successful on Instagram is our topic of conversation today. So, Instagram is a platform that actually started out as Instagram pictures and taking snaps on the move, and has developed and grown over the years now into such an amazing platform to build engagement, to reach your people, to share as an artist and creative. I feel is one of the best platforms for me personally. I love to use Instagram, and we have lots of people in our community that love to use Instagram too. However, have noticed recently that it's harder to get reach on Instagram, that it feels like people follow you, but you put a post out there and they don't get to see it. So, with all that in mind, we invited Emily Masterson into our Hub membership, which is our platform where people can become a member of United Artspace and access amazing resources. And we have a guest expert every month, and Emily was our guest expert in the month of November, and works for Meta and has inside information and works with creatives and other people too in the space, usually of entrepreneurial creativity, and is really helping people to improve their profiles and is a font of knowledge when it comes to Instagram. So we invited Emily in. And if you are a Hub member, you can access that training, which was full of gold from Emily, that's inside the Hub right now. If you're not a member, you can learn more below. But I want to share today 4 top tips that Emily shared with us, because I just think sometimes we overlook what is really in front of us and easy to fix in terms of using Instagram. So I like to think of Instagram as like a social interaction. So it's not just about posting out and then waiting for something to happen. There's definitely more to it than that. And that's where there is a lot of missed opportunity to kind of just have conversations with people and to really start to understand who you want to attract to your Instagram and who is going to connect with the type of work that you're creating. And so, one of the first bits of advice that Emily gave was to actually look at your analytics. Now, hands up who looks at their analytics. I know some of you do, but some of us just don't. And I'm in that camp where I definitely bury my head in the sand because I get busy and I'm churning out more content, and I forget to stop and just have a look at what is going on. I usually just have a quick skim at how many people viewed a reel, for example. But if you just take a minute or more, 5 minutes, 10 minutes every week to actually look at your analytics and look at what's happening and look at what's working and look at trends in terms of your own content and what people seem to be commenting on or saving or clicking, you can gain so much insight into what's working so that you can do more of what works and do less of what doesn't. And there is more to it than just looking at analytics, of course, because every post has a different objective. So for some posts, it might be to drive comments and to drive engagement, whereas another another post, sorry, that maybe was a testimonial might not be to drive comments and engagement, but to help convert people into seeing what you have to offer. And so not every post needs to be liked, shared, and saved. But knowing that, so when we're looking at our analytics, we'll look at certain posts that we're putting out there to drive engagement. And the reason we're doing that, and this is what Emily was explaining, is that when we're posting, it doesn't need to all be about selling. And in fact, a lot of it is about building rapport, building trust, and getting in front of people. Because someone asked a great question, went, what's the point if I'm not making any sales from this? What's the point of me putting the energy into this? And the point is, because people usually buy after 7 interactions with a brand or a person. And that is so true in the sense that people will likely buy from you if they're more familiar with who you are, and if they see you cropping up on Instagram, if they see you sharing behind the scenes, if they see you regularly, then you become familiar to that person. You become more trustworthy too if you engage in a conversation also. And so the more that you can create those posts that are getting visibility, it helps. And so weighing that up with a variety of posts that encourage engagement and comments, but um, also help people convert into a sale, which might not get as many comments and likes. So you're looking at the analytics to see which types of posts work best. And so we're driving posts out that we know are going to get great saves and comments, but we're also putting posts out there that don't get great saves and comments, but we know that there could be one or two people just out there in the world that needed to see a testimonial of how we can help people. And that was the one post they needed to see to make a decision to come and join us and buy from us. And so when we're looking at analytics, we're not looking for everything to be all like how many likes and shaves saves likes and shaves. So that was a great tip, was to kind of like look at your analytics. Now, off the back of that, this is so good advice, and I love this advice, because as creatives, we can get into the habit of just keep churning out new content every week. Let's just put out new things all the time. And one big massive piece of advice that Emily gave was to repurpose content. And so if you have a reel or a post that worked really well, then share that out again, a month, 6 weeks after. And you can share it out the same, because we've tested this and we've done it. We've literally shared it out again, taken it off. You can share a reel without putting it on the feed too. But we've actually done this where we've taken previous posts and put them out again, and just put them out exactly the same. And they've had literally the same amount of engagement, which boosts the algorithms. But you can also tweak them. You can tweak the image, you can tweak the caption. And so a lot of our posts have been repurposed. And so a lot of people think you've got to keep putting new things out there, but you don't. You can look to see what's working and keep putting the same things out over and over. And one, you might capture new people by posting it again the second time. Two, people don't know whether that's the original post that they saw. Don't worry about if someone's seen it once, are they going to get bored again? Remember that people are looking in a feed and scrolling. So they don't know if it's the same post that they saw last week or 6 weeks ago. People aren't actually keeping tabs on you. And that's such a relief to know, isn't it? And so that piece of advice was fantastic. So keep a list of things to repurpose, and then you can share every week. Just share something else that's worked from previous posting. So another piece of advice was to use hooks, and especially in reels. So Emily was saying that the best way to get in front of people and to gain followers is by using reels. And it's probably the only way at the moment as we speak and record this. So by putting reels out there, you are going to get in front of non-followers. And that's what you want to be looking at too when you're looking at your analytics. And so looking then at your analytics and then noticing what's working and what's getting in front of non-followers is key. And Emily was giving some great advice in the lessons inside the hub on how to use hooks. And a hook is the first 2 seconds of a reel, and that's either visual or written. And so in the lessons inside the hub, Emily goes into much more detail about that. And then finally, Emily was saying hashtags are now obsolete, or going to be. They're phasing them out completely. You might be able to still use your own hashtag like we do, and then you can go and find those. But on the whole, they're going out, and actually it's just keywords. And Emily was saying to just use keywords at the bottom of your caption. And those keywords can be searched and will bring up your posts. So it was a great set of lessons, and we did a live Q&A last week too. It was fantastic. So if you're a Hub member, go and check that out. It's in the Hub member area. If you're not a Hub member and you would like to access that lesson, click the link below. We've given you all the details of how to become a member, and you can go and access that lesson. And also, if you'd like to learn more about Emily, who works for Meta and helps creatives, and will do an analysis of your social media profile, and will also coach people. We're going to work with Emily ourselves here at United Art Space. I've put the link below so you can go and learn more about Emily too. Okay, take care, my friends. I'll see you next week.